What's up guys, Master Colin here with this week's Taekwondo video. Over the weekend we had our first belt test since the quarantine started. And the next few videos for Taekwondo are going to be covering some of the deficiencies I saw in the various tests through the black belt test, the intermediate advanced color belt test, and the beginner color belt test. The biggest thing I want to touch on first is keeping a tight fist on our belt when we're doing form motions. So for example, if I'm doing a front stance and a down block, getting my hand back to my belt, super important for the look of the form. So that was a big problem. There was quite a few of you guys that were struggling with that. So we're gonna be covering that in class. What I want to review today is maybe some of you don't understand exactly how to make the correct fist, especially my beginner belts. So I want to touch on that first. So the way I explain it is open your hands up, put your fingers pointing straight up in the air, and then curl your fingers in until you can't curl them in anymore. Okay, so squeeze it tight to your hand. And then wrap your thumbs in front, just like that. Okay? A lot of you guys are leaving your thumb out to the side or tucking it underneath. Both of those ways are not good ways to make a fist because you will break your thumb or worse. And if you can't use your hand to defend yourself, it makes it a lot harder to do that. So make this your habit over and over again until you don't have to think about it anymore. I promise that will come, but for now, every time when you're doing your form, do one motion at a time and correct every little detail. So the way I practice my forms is if I'm starting in Jumbi, if the first move is a down block to my left, a lot of times in the first couple Taekwondo forms that is the case. So let's say it's a front stance and a down block. If I move to my left here, okay, now I got a lot of problems with this stance. I'm gonna do it this way so you guys can see straight on. Now, my fists are not correct, so I have to check those first. So squeeze that, I got my hand in the proper spot. My down block is in the proper spot. My front stance is not correct though either. My shoulders are off. Okay, so I need to move my front foot over, make sure both of my feet are pointing the same direction. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. Shoulders are squared, pointing the same direction. So now I've checked off all my boxes. I'm good to go. This stance is correct. My motion is correct, and I can move on. All right. I know that's not easy, but it's something that everybody needs to start doing, especially when it comes to your form practice. So just make sure you go down the checklist. Hands, like your fist. So are you making a good, strong, tight fist? That's step one, check that. Step two, what are your arms doing? So are they in the right position? If it's supposed to be a down block, is the down block where it's supposed to be? If it's an inside block, is that in the right spot? So make sure your arms are in the right position. Then look at your body posture. Are your shoulders supposed to be sideways, squared, 45 degrees? And if you don't know the answer, then you need to come into class and make sure you're asking me. And then lastly, look at your base, your feet, your legs. Are your feet pointing the same direction, or are they supposed to be sideways? One foot's supposed to be forward, one foot's supposed to be sideways. So check all of those things before you move on to the next move in your form. Don't just, I notice a lot of you guys when you're practicing your form, and I give you like self-practice time, you're just moving through the form very fast, so I need everybody to make sure you're slowing that down, okay? So your assignment for this week's practice is to practice making your fist the correct way, and then keep that fist while practicing your forms. So after this video wraps up, I want you to do a basic stretch, okay? Do your push-ups, do your sit-ups, do your squats, and then practice your form 5 times. And while you practice your form 5 times, I want you to check your fist constantly, check your body position constantly, check your legs position constantly, okay? So that is your assignment for this week. If you don't do that, there will be push-ups coming. So keep that in mind, and I will see you guys in class.